All right, I am back after a bit of a break here, and I'm going to keep going until my earballs can't handle it anymore. I've been hearing great music on this stream. What's really been great about this stream is there's been a couple of very comical, fun tracks that started off earlier. But like anything else, like this whole avocado experience, you never know. Life's like a box of eighth notes. You never know what you're going to get. Are there going to be dotted eighth notes, connected eighth notes, triplet eighth notes? I'm waiting for some of my musician friends to chime in. What other kind of eighth notes must there be in this box of eighth notes? Because for I am the Forrest Gump. And so that's the thing. Oh, yeah, that was for the asthma. Right, exactly. All right, guys, let's continue on. Next up is going to be the driver. How are you? He's one of our... We have a really nice group of usual suspects on Discord as well, by the way. You'll see that pop up every now and then. And it's just a really fun crew. It's an extension of what we are here. So you want to talk about music. There's even some self-promotion tab there if you've got your own show or music you want to share. It's just a continuation. And the driver always seems to be popping in and chiming in. The lounge, we have a tab there called the lounge. And that's also a fun place for me to check in. It's funny, though, because sometimes people forget that I check in now and then. And they're talking shit about, in a nice way. They're giving me a rash about being old. And I'm like, every now and then, I just type in, ahem. You know I'm right here, right? So, anyhow, here we go. This is from the driver. And this next track is a band called Panama. The song is called Always. Another song featured in one of the Grand Theft Auto 5's in-game radio stations. A great song to get away from it all, whether it be from stress, societal expectations, the internet, etc. But this is Grand Theft Auto we're talking about, so yeah, it's most likely the police you're getting away from. Good. I like that sense of humor, the driver. Let's go. Do you guys know this song? I don't. We'll listen to it together. See, they got popcorn. He needs itakaki in there. This is great driving music for sure. Kept the same pattern, but removed that arpeggiation. I like that. I love that drum pattern. And I love how the clap fills in for the three. Yeah, this is really great driving music. I don't know what it has to do with the girl in the gun, but... I like the underplaying of the piano. The piano's just holding the chords, staying right on it. Did the video have any real correlation to this, or was this the... Oh, I see. This is the official music video of the band, but then it was also used in the game. All right, got it. It was since there was kind of the precedent-setting message was it was in the driving game, so I was putting it as if it was in the radio as you're driving, and it would be like a really great, kind of dusting off into the sunset thing. But maybe during this... See, that's what I'm not too familiar with the with that particular game is you have a choice of stations you can put it on, so you can listen to a particular, I guess, genre throughout the course of your journey in Grand Theft Auto. So I guess at some point, I guess you're being. It's weird to think that I'm being chased by police to this track, unless you're medicated like me. But like I said, the playfulness of the rhythm patterns. Sorry, I'm being rude and chewing and talking at the same time. I really enjoyed what that drum pattern was doing, but percussively, there were other things that were helping fulfill the obligation, if you would. Or was it whatever that was? I really appreciated that. And the use of the claps. And like I said earlier, I love just the jabbiness of the piano on it. There was no tricky piano playing. It was just holding down the pattern in a very nice kind of metallic 1980s pop style piano, kind of Korg piano kind of vibe. Something like that, if I'm making sense. Misty Souls, are you here? Misty Souls would like us to check out a band called Giant Robo. Oh, it's an anime called Giant Robo. This is Dr. Shizuma Forever. Composed by Masamichi Amano, recorded with the Warsaw Philharmonic Orchestra in 1993 for the anime Giant Robo. For context and to explain the emotional journey that the song takes, this plays during a military funeral scene for an important character, with the eulogy celebrating their accomplishments in bringing prosperity to the world, and followed by the casket being lowered into the ocean from an airship. Oh, wow. All right. This sounds really interesting, and it's with a live orchestra, so let's go. Very well written Aloha track. It's the fond farewell to a powerful character vibe. Now that I know what the backstory is. Great horns there, yeah? That little section might be where two people will look at each other as they acknowledge, or maybe walking to the casket or something, like coming down with the energy there. Here comes a big send-off. You know, because of the fact that in the messaging I was kind of led into understanding what the scene is, which actually helps, without a doubt. This is it is the quintessential military honors type of orchestrating that I think in celebrating like a very powerful passing of a very powerful character or the honoring of somebody, you know, it had all the elements of the slow grow of the horns, and things were coming together in a very passive. I guess in the anime, this is more celebratory than it is, you know, sad. You know, giving him the big fond farewell kind of a thing. So the actual orchestral angles of doing the arrangements, there's just a way that you actually do it as a composer. It's almost like that thing that's already seated in our heads, that it's going to have, beautiful horn representation, and because I think we're branded with, you know, if you really think about it, how we're branded celebratory-wise, all the way back from the Renaissance days, is like whenever something happens, right? The guys come out with the big horns, you know, that's always kind of a section of power, or at least it resembles that in the theater of the mind, you know, when you hear the horns and stuff. But in this case, there's softer, rounder horns that are coming in, and then you got the choral aspect that came into it. Of course, you got to have the timpani and the marching drums as well. And but yes, this had that stamp of military fond farewell to it, and it sounded great. I loved it. Who was Masamichi Amano? And yeah, it was a Masamichi Amano. Okay, very nice, fantabulous. Okay, next up, who do we got? Next up, we have Scanvisa. How are you? I am fine, sir. Scanvisa. Okay, let's see what we got. I don't know why I just went into that rapidy doopity. This is I'm not even going to introduce it, because this is just when you just know what this is just an extraordinary example of power, gifted talent, and legacy sound for the this artist here is the kind of artist that they put in the little box of things that they shoot up to the aliens, so that if any aliens find this, they say this is what's going on in the world. You tell me if I'm wrong. Come for me in the comments if I'm wrong. I already got chicken skin. There it is, goosebumps. I mean, also the string arrangements of this are so beautiful. Little pizzicato there in the bass. Attachment to music. That is as heavy metal, as incredibly powerful as one could be in representation of being a performing artist. That is just as huge as it can be. And Pavarotti, if you had the opportunity ever to hear him live, it's just magic. It's just a magic moment. We get the opportunities to see and hear artists and legends. Of course, there are many other opera singers that are incredibly powerful and wonderful, but there's a legacy and an attachment to him being amongst us in this era we get to live here right now. That's just mind-numbing. And yes, somebody else had mentioned it's the passion, it's the desire. It still lives and burns in him as it did probably, you know, before his first performance. And the other thing that's I want to just kind of come back in on is how beautiful those string arrangements are. You know, this is it is a performance by Pavarotti, but it is still as a piece of work. You know, the string arrangements are absolutely beautiful. To me, that's what makes it all come together. You know, the importance of those of the backing tracks, if you would, as I dare say, in a classical way of thinking, the backing tracks. No, it's a beautiful piece of work. But it was really cool because I may have heard it in the past in a performance like this, but Watching it, I'm watching, and I love, you know how I love to do this, and I watch like live musicians so I can point out things. So in this case, I'm just watching apparently this scene right here, and at one point I didn't realize there was like just maybe 2 beats of a pizzicato that the bass, the double bass did, like just a little flavor, a little hint of something. I was like, that's badass, you know. You know, I'm sorry I'm speaking so parochially, if you would, about such an incredible piece of music by a masterful artist, of course, in the world of classical music. But I'm so pumped you brought this into the stream, and so many people were appreciative of it. So thank you so much. Thank you. Okay, next up, let's do TJ Dambor. DJ Tambor. You just have to put that in the bingo card somewhere. Geebz dyslexia. The hell. So DJ Tambor wants us to listen to a song called Eggs. Is this going to be another mystical kind of like a play on like a Weird Al Yankovic kind of thing, pre-Easter spin here maybe? The name of the band is CG5. Let's go. It's nothing but a dreamer. I'm sorry. Let's make a song about anything. It's exclusive.
I'm having an existential crisis, 'cause I need to know, why is this egg so amazing? I'm not exaggerating, boiling with excitement.
See, now we know why it costs so much, man. This guy's going for creds. He's got to pay his manager. He's got to pay the road team. Come on. This is why eggs are so expensive now. They just let it out. Of course, you got to pay the egg handler. Stupid.
Yes, I'm being intentional. Egbert is my new best friend. He will be with me till the end. But sometimes I wonder, would he taste good fried? Can't get over this easy, think I just might cry. Scrambling for solutions, but it's no use.
This is silly.
I execrate this feeling, but I know what I must
They put some good energy in the producing of the music and the vocals and everything. It's just the content is hilarious. It's been that stream, right, guys?
I think about you every day.
I remember Egbert.
Perfect in every way.
What other egg words can you come up with that they haven't said yet?
I miss you, oh, Egbert. You tasted oh so great, but I'll always miss my egg. Oh, my egg.
Exuberant.
I'll always miss my
There it is, guys. It's official. Now we know why the eggs are so expensive right now is because, see, now he's got, he's on Spotify. The eggs got representation. He's probably going to be in a movie, even though it says that Egbert did pass away and didn't make it through. Maybe he'll be in a movie called Excalibur. It's not an original. I saw it pop up here. Oh, that's it. He'll have like a boss battle with a boss battle with ramen. Yeah, you know, you crack the egg into the ramen, it turns into, you know, bird's nest soup or something like that. I thought it was great. I loved it. This has been that stream, guys. This is just what happens in our streams sometimes, from Weird Al Yankovic to Cardi to what was the other one? This has just been that stream. I think I might cut all those out and just put them together in one little presentation. And it goes, this is the kind of stuff that happens on the stream. But it couldn't have come at a better time. I don't know if the reason why this was put into our list here and donoed up because we're just in an existential crisis, you know, but we're all scrambling for eggs. Jesus. Hey, my neighbor now, we got hens and stuff. I'm just like, you know, when I go over there, but still yet. Great track. I will say one thing. The music was done very well. It was pop campy and really fun. And the harmonies were really well thought up of. So even though this was kind of an excellent play on words, they took their music, the backing tracks seriously, and the performance was well done. So I dig that. I dig an egg. Forget it. I'm stopped. Tonto corazón. Hola vos, ¿cómo estás? ¿Qué ondas? ¿A qué hora es ahora? ¿A qué hora es ahora? ¿Qué lo parió? Soy boludo. Okay, so let's see what Tonto Corazon wants. Would like us to listen to. Oh, we got to sit in for this one. This is going to take a minute, it looks like. It's 11:30 in Brooklyn. Hey, how you doing? Hey, Tonto Corazon. You're in Brooklyn, huh? Hey, you know what they have in Brooklyn? I think I told this joke before, but you may not have heard it. So you guys know I love Vietnamese pho, right? You know the pho? Pho, that's the soup. That's the noodle bowl soup. Then, you know, put that together with, you know, the Italian cuisine in Brooklyn. And then we'll open up a restaurant and we'll call it Forget About It. Okay, that's just the second time I said it. You guys heard it all. I just had to go there. Guys, this is the band. This is Munir Hossn. Once again, this is Don Nace el Sol. Don Nace el Sol. All right, guys, this is going to be a bit of a listen, about 10 minutes long. And thank you for the dono. Let's go. Here we go.
El vestidito corto con tu sandalia de cuero ya no te falta nada. Ay, ay, qué linda estás. Bailan las flores con tu cabello y ya se me fue el aire en tu caminar. Ay, ay, qué rica estás.
God, the fact that he could sing and play that.
De cuero ya no te falta nada. Ay, ay, qué linda estás. Bailan las flores con tu cabello y ya se me fue el aire en tu caminar. Ay, ay, qué rica estás. Y la noche ya te extraña, pero el sol viene a ver. Tu baile rico mañanero que le inspira amanecer.
I can't find the one to save my life, Almond. I just gave up. I'm thinking.
Hay una melodía que dice así. ¿Cómo es?
There we go. Now it's coming in. You said it better, Rotten.
Yuya, habla ahí. Dime algo.
You know Snow Cook, that makes a lot of sense. There's those of us that'll dig for it, but yet you just let this music be its music, and your body feels the one.
El vestidito corto con tu sandalia de cuero ya no te falta nada. Ay, ay, qué linda está. Bailan las flores con tu cabello, ya se me fue el aire en tu caminar. Ay, ay, qué rica está. El vestidito corto con tu sandalia de cuero y ya no te falta nada. Ay, ay, qué linda está. Bailan las flores con tu cabello y ya se me fue el aire en tu caminar. Ay, ay, qué rica está. Y la noche ya te extraño, pero el sol viene a ver. Tu baile rico mañanero que le inspira a amanecer.
So now is the moment to stand up and dance with us. Okay? You guys ready? Yeah, you can stand up. Please.
You can do stand up, you stand up and you dance with us. Baila, pelotudo, dale.
Ahora sí.
Ah, claro que sí.
Donde se pone y nace el sol.
See, there we go. That's the.
Tus ojos piden, tú tienes que mandar. Donde se pone y nace el sol. Tus ojos piden, tú tienes que mandar.
I mean, even if you're not a dancer, you can't help but just go. Bobblehead. I call it the bobblehead move. Nice harmony there.
Eso me da un dolorcito.
This is so badass.
Un dolorcito. Un dolorcito. Un dolorcito. ¿Cómo es?
Un dolorcito en el pecho. Un dolorcito viene cuando te veo. Un solecito en el pecho. Un solecito viene cuando te veo. Un dolorcito en el pecho. Un dolorcito viene cuando te veo. Un solecito en el pecho. Un solecito viene cuando te veo.
Look at that. Everybody's having the best time ever, even if you're just swaying and bobbing back there. The energy is just infectious, contagious.
Ay, mamá, yo solo quiero que me quiera como Brasil, la samba, Cuba y su vida con costa. Ay, mamá, yo solo quiero que me quiera como
Listen for the cowbell.
la samba, Cuba y su.
Oh, that drummer. Ugh.
Ay, mamá, yo solo quiero que me quiera como Cuba y su diva con cosa. Ay, mamá, yo solo
Escucha, tonto corazón. What Aman said.
Can you sing together? It's so beautiful.
Get everybody in on it.
Ahora sí. Más fuerte, más fuerte.
Oh, but the lead singer is a bass player. Oh. That was absolutely mind-numbing. That was absolutely phenomenal. You know,
Se formó la fiesta.
sí, es una
Thank you
fiesta
so much.
grande.
Thank you so
Todo
much. Muito
bailando.
obrigado.
That was
Please again,
just
DC Garcia on drums, please. DC Garcia on
yes,
drums.
the drums crushing it. He's going to
Señorita-
introduce the band.
Francesca Romero on keyboard. Señorita Francesca
Francesca
Romero. por
Romero,
favor.
muy bien. Y
La maestra Magela Herrera, flautas and vocals.
Flauta.
Magela Herrera.
qué divina. Y a
Señorita
congas,
Ana Paz, keyboard and vocals, please. Ana
Oh.
Paz.
Ana Paz. Muy bien, muy bien.
De la Che de Cuba. Yuya Rodríguez, por favor, en la percusión. Yuya Rodríguez, por favor.
There you go. That was just absolutely phenomenal. Tonto Corazon, thank you so much. It was such a beautiful change up in the stream and stuff. But the rhythms that move is in so many different ways from so many different places around the world, you know. And the thing is, what's really unique about this is that all of us here, when we listen to music, we're moved by the rhythm of the performance. It could be straightforward, it could be as abstract and beautiful as this. So when we get an opportunity to think outside of our like comfort zone, it's like, well, I'm not too sure if I'm used to this music, or I'm not too sure if I know much about it. But then you just find yourself getting, you know, taken in by it, the intoxication of a pattern like this. So, you know, the whole Latin world, all encompassed from South America, Central America, you know, Cuba, Puerto Rico, and through and through. In combination with also sometimes in Brazil, I mean, like I said, South America and all this sort of stuff, in combination is also with African, infused African rhythms and stuff like that. It's a whole different kind of intoxication. Somebody put a great comment in there where they said, yeah, or something along the lines of, I don't think Meshuggah could have found the one, which is, of course, Meshuggah is regarded as being one of the more powerful tempo meter gamers in the heavy metal scene, you know, with what they do and stuff. Tonto Corazon, thank you so much, man. That was so badass. I felt at home, actually. It's kind of funny. Brings me back to my kid days when we used to play around the house and stuff like that, the music my dad would play and whatever. But I do have to say one thing. Each one of those musicians are fire, but I don't know where and how the universe manifests through that lead singer, because for him to not only perform his melody in its own specific rhythmic pattern, he was destroying the bass pattern and keeping us locked in at the same time as being present in the performance. In other words, locking eyes with the audience and having such a good time. I can't do it. I get my thing stuck in the zipper, and that's as far as my well, I'm sorry, that's a horrible metaphor or something, but that's like, I can't barely get my stuff together, but a guy like, I don't know why I use that, but that's what it's like. I can't, like, you know, it's like somebody like that could do so many things, and I can barely get, you know, my shit together. It's just I'm sorry. It was just I don't know why it came out that way, but it did, because that's what it feels like. I feel so insignificant, you know, with doing this kind of a thing, and he does that. It's just mind-numbing, just beautiful. Thank you, Tonto Corazon. I appreciate it. I'm sorry. It's getting long in the stream. I've been at this, I think, for about 2.5, 3 hours now, so, you know, it's going to happen. You guys know that. All right, let's go. Let's continue on here. What do we have next? Next up, we have Ladder Lap. Oh, only 3.5 hours? Okay, that's good. Then again, with the zipper, it could be like a shaker. Just forget it. I'm going to let it go. Let's move on. So, Lateral Lap, we're going to be doing a band. Aimee, Mann. Let's just move right on from that conversation to this one. Hey. This is Aimee, Mann performing Invisible Ink. Invisible Ink is from Aimee Mann's 2002 album, Lost in Space. This is my favorite song out of all her work. All right, let's go. Hi, Lateral Lap.
There comes a time when you swim or sink, so I jumped in the drink, 'cause I couldn't make myself clear. Maybe I wrote an invisible ink.
Beautiful.
Oh, I've tried to think how I could have made it appear, but another illustration is wasted, 'cause the results are the same. I feel like
Beautiful strings, very subtle but beautiful.
trying to move your hands over some Ouija board in the hopes I can spell out my name.
The Ouija board reference.
But some take for magic at first glance is just sleight of hand, depending on what you believe. Something gets lost when you translate. It's
A
hard
beautiful
to
melody.
keep straight. Perspective is everything. And I know now.
I love the smokiness of her voice when she gets into that lower register.
Angle I ought to look at it from. I suppose I should be happy to be misread. Better be that than some of the other things I have become. But nobody wants to hear this tale.
Unique production decision to have the drums a little more packed on this side and have the ambient reverb response on this side. Kind of a Beatles approach, kind of a George Martin thing.
Nobody needs a catalog with details of a love I can't sell anymore. And aside from that, this chain of reaction, baby is losing a link. Though I'd hope you'd know what I try to tell you, and if you don't, I could draw you a picture in invisible ink. But nobody wants to hear this tale. The plot is cliche, the jokes are stale, and baby, we've all heard it all before. Oh, I could get specific, but
Clever. I love that. Fading into a mono guitar. What a beautiful track. She has an unbelievable voice. And some of the arrangement choices in there, like I said, it kind of reminded me of like kind of a Beatles, George Martin, Yellow Submarine era. And I think that's just because I think the phrasing just stuck out to me every time I went dun 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 or something of that nature. The alignment of the arrangement perhaps is what it could have been. Just like it was a piano following those notes along with a very small section, if you would, or small amount of musicians and stuff. Her, Alma was mentioning about the alto tone. She just has such a beautiful tone in her voice that, a song like this also is reminding me a little bit of the, Sheryl Crow, Shelby Lynne type of performance. Is really super clean production, but that was a bizarre thing. Not in a bad way, it's just bizarre thing. It's just you don't expect to hear it. So it becomes an actual choice where somebody goes, what if we do this? Which would be, we're used to hearing the drums kind of very well imaged in front of us here. Sometimes it's packed, sometimes it's really wide open and stuff with the overheads or whatever the case is. In this case, when the drums came in, I found it to be very unique that it was kind of like at about the 10 o'clock or the 10 over here, and that the response of the reverbs and the ambience to that, or the early reflection, was more off on a harder turn to this side. So I thought that was unique. That kind of pulled my brain into that little skip, and the string arrangements were beautiful. And I loved how that string held that. I think that was an F. I'm not sure. Anyhow, how it just glided on that note. And the guitar started, playing, it was playing out and then went into another change. And what that note hanging out there did to the, I'm glitching. I can't find the word. Can't find the word. But it did that thing. Anyhow, I'll just stop there because my brain just went, anyhow. Thank you so much, Lateral Tap, for not only coming in, hanging out with us on Happy Aloha Friday, your dono too as well. I appreciate it. And thank you for bringing Aimee into the house. Okay, next up, Doc Doom. Okay. Is Doc Doom hiding somewhere in the back? Are you there? Yes, you are. I'll bet you'll show up anytime. I will get the song anyway. Let's go. Okay, this is going to be, the band is The John Candy, perhaps. The name of the song is The Wand, The Cloak, The Stone. Look, Doc Doom is present. As a belated April Fool's tune, I presented the John Candy, self-described as a sample core. No other band can make me laugh out loud with another song, movie, sound clip, and then hit me with the crushing breakdown. Okay, so it looks like that's the theme of this stream today, guys. Happy Aloha Friday is that knockoff kind of happy joy weirdness kind of stream. Apparently, let's see if Doc Doom's bringing one of those here. Let's go. Are they at Venice? Nope, Laguna. Damn, was not expecting that. It's so Laguna Niguel. But there is a subculture in there. Sort of funky, genty guys. Damn. And we're halfway there. They drop Bon Jovi in on it. Bruh. This is trippy. Oh, perfect. I wonder if they had to get a derivative on that. These guys are fucking great with this moshing up of samples and stuff. And these guys are having the best time ever putting this together, Dan. You can almost hear them laughing. Oh, let's do this. Yeah? Just having fun, Doc.
You can have two. Fucking you.
Oh, shit. All that dissonance in there, but the engineer crushed it on this, man. Thanks, guys. That was sick. We crushed it. These guys really did crush it, guys. As abstract and gnarly and crazy as that was, it made all the sense in the world. Let me find a nice little stoppage. I don't know if I can find a stoppage point in all this craziness. There it is. These guys did a phenomenal job to manage all the crazy sampling and infused arrangements that had to go on in there. There was a lot of pitch correction that had to go into the samples in order to stay in the key that these guys had already banged out. At least it would seem to be. That would be the approach on it. It was so crafty. It's like to me, I know this is gonna sound kind of weird, but it's kind of like Vincent van Gogh's self-portrait with his ear cut off. There's a lot of artistry that's in this work here. I don't know anything about this band, what else they do, you know, off of their albums, Doc do, and whatever else, or if this is their gitch all the way through and through. But I thought it was so well put together and incredibly well engineered. That's a lot of shit to manage. You know, they must have had a ton of tracks in there. They did have a very uniquely sculpted, djenty, you know, Beatle fart guitar crunch sound, which I thought was unique. I go, okay, well, these guys are going way out there. They're not worried about pegging themselves into being, you know, like a genuine gent sound or, oh, shit, I said it again. Oh, don't come after me, guys. It's just old man stuff. Please, just let it go. And, you know, keeping it Like I guess you figure if they're going to go and do this whole thing that they're going to also make change. Screw it, we're not going to go for our standard genty bottom end sound. It's going to be, we're going to sculpt the sound like that. I can't. It happens. You know what I'm saying? I just do what I do. Anyhow, Doc Doom, that was killer. That was absolutely killer, and I dug it. I dug their all of the artistry from top to bottom. So thank you for bringing that in. I was, but then you mentioned it. Oh, shit. I suck. Jack Zyra, we in with you, brother. Let's go, Jackie. Are you still here? Okay, good. Hey, give me a second. I totally choked. I got to find my phone, make sure I'm not getting any messages while I'm out. So give me 1 second, guys. Hit that bingo card. Okay. Did you guys get the bingo? Who got the bingo? Okay, Jack, we doing news now. Okay, hey, guess what? Oh, good. We're getting into some Final Fantasy, guys. Let's see what Jack Zira is bringing into us. Final Fantasy 14. This is called Ride the Rhythm. Hello, he says. This is a song from the new Raids series in Final Fantasy 14. I decided to take a video of it myself with my friends because all the big postings out there just took the files. But it actually swaps around depending on the attacks on the boss uses, on the attack the boss uses. And I now, oh my God, I can't read. And I know there's a lot to focus on, but on the top of the screen, all the attacks, the bosses, oh fuck, I can't read. I'm sorry. I'm gonna try this again. And I know there's a lot to focus on, but on the top of the screen, all the attacks, the boss casts are all reference to songs. Oof, God, yeah, you can tell I'm getting tired. Hey, Western Crafter, how are you? Sorry, guys, it's just happened. I got this. I can read. It's the mother tongue. Well, almost is. Okay, here we go, guys. Once again, this is from Jack Zero. This is Final Fantasy 14, Ride the Rhythm. Let's see what we got going on here, guys. Let's go. All right. This is really a thing? John Travolta needs to get royalties for that move. So the emphasis obviously is on that 80s disco style, yeah? Is a raid when everybody comes together from different lobbies and stuff and plays and battles a single boss? Or something like that? God, the bass is brutal on this, is it? Oh, you have a pre-made group. Okay, I see. I think what's great about this too is that the music, it just makes it like a fun boss mission. God, I think this is great. This is phenomenal. They unlock different levels with dance moves or something. Kickball change. So what happened? Did that music change because the level changed or something? This just kind of reminds me of a party boss battle. You're in there with your buddies. You know, this music is like, you know, you're like a roller disco place, you know, battling the crap out of a boss and having a blast. I love the vocoder work for the backgrounds. Because horn riff. This is really intriguing. Oh, who's this guy that's showing up in the corner? Oh, frick, he just moonwalked across the place. What the hell? Is that Michael Crack's son? Do you ever beat this guy? It's like this rabbit looks like he's like never gonna get knocked out. If it's a rabbit, I don't know. The boss, he just cleared out the table. Super sexy disco, I love it. I'm good for this. I'm in a good mood in this. mean, actually, the music, even though I don't know anything about the game, is making me enjoy watching the video. Like, if I was a player, I could see how this music would keep you, it's energized, you know? And I love the fact that whatever, I guess you say this is an extended part of the game or something, or a different kind of a buy or an add-on or something. I just love that it's music-oriented. Everybody's, you know, every time you move the sword, you'll see a staff, you know, a music staff and the whole thing. Just keep pounding this rabbit until he dies. It looks like the little spots, the blocks are losing color. So maybe that's the rabbit losing power. Oh, guess not. What's a perfect groove? I guess we're getting close to the end, so maybe he dies, the rabbit. I love how the boss is kind of bouncing in the beat. It's like, hey, sup, you fauna. I love the fact that music's involved in this, in the visuals and stuff. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, Amon. That's the same thing. Oh. That was a big bang on the rabbit. Let's see if the rabbit dies now. Absolutely hilarious. And the rabbit keeps doing the John Travolta thing. That's hilarious, Chick Zero. Oh, he's going down. He's going down like the rabbit he is. The rabbit got pounded out. The boss fight got worked. No, boss fight. Jesus. You know, what Amon said earlier was exactly how I felt through the whole thing. He just said it before I could think it. The track was just a really fun disco track, very well produced, with more modern, you know, current sounds compared to what disco would have sounded like in the 80s. But the truth be told, to watch it with this game, it was kind of like a fun, like, I too, I don't know, probably had a little smirk on my face. I was like, I was into the game. I'm into this. I'm listening to the music. I'm watching actually the musicality of what the game is representing in its physics, gaming physics. You know, the characters doing his things and seeing his staff, and everything's moving to music and stuff. Something else too that I thought was unique, because I don't know how far along Final Fantasy has gone, because the only Final Fantasy experience I have is of the original 7, Final Fantasy 7. So I know it's light years ahead of itself, but you know, when you say Final Fantasy, the last thing I think was, what was the name of the Final Fantasy main character? Help me with that. The dude. Somebody tell me, what was the name of the dude? Like, I become the dude. I forgot who it was. Yeah, Cloud, I think it was, yeah. So I don't know if Cloud there's an iteration of Cloud now that is represented in this game. Like maybe Cloud was somewhere in there. But I guess, Jake Zero, you were saying this was a team thing. You guys were teaming up on Boss Rabbit there. With the sword, yes, I remember that. I like the track, Jack. And I thought it was, and I love the presentation because it kept me into it. Now, I didn't realize the track obviously looped itself through. And there were just a few changes every now and then. But as far as just the body of work with music against scene, I thought it was badass. I will say one thing, my friend. If you do this in the future, check your volume levels because it was kind of low. So whenever whatever you export on, if you have an LED readout, get it as close to. But I'm just saying, I'm not being a phallic symbol about it. I'm just saying, when I export this on the YouTube, I'm gonna have to cut that thing out and boost it. But anyhow, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Okay, let's keep going. I'm just saying. I loved it. I thought it was great against gameplay. Okay, let's keep going. I can do it. Next up is the Kebab Seller. And, he's staying with this theme, guys. We are going to be listening to, and I love the journey that Kebab Seller has put us on. He's taken us through some One Piece once again. This one is called We Did It Party. The name says it all, he says. Okay, let's go. Just so good, the work. It's unbelievable. It is. It's like the party. They say it's the party, you know. Hey, let's go and do this. Everybody celebrate. Beautiful little clarinet. Ooh. I love the harmony with the line with the reed section. Da 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 da. Come on, everybody! Bring the party stuff over here. Bring the animals. Bring the cows. Bring the dancing girls. Bring the dancing boys. Yay. You know it's going when the tuba's already in. The tuba is like the zero in the gent guitars. The Kebab Seller, you just know I'm going to say the same thing every time. I'm just so blown away at the intensity and the amount of work that goes into a music. Albeit the anime is 20 years in the making, I believe, in the comments, and I'm getting used to every time I see a One Piece or hear a One Piece track. I just, for me, I think I don't know what it takes to draw anime. I have no idea. And if you're good at it, maybe you pump it out in a certain amount of time. It just feels like the music that these composers put together, as incredibly talented as these composers are, has got to take an incredible amount of time because there's so many detailed arrangements that are going on in there. Small little answer backs, divises and sections in the strings, and the bottom end of the horn section responding to and something else, the upper end of the horn section. I mean, there's so many different, especially in animation. I think the real challenge, without a doubt, I have 1% experience with animation, 2%, all right, maybe a little more. But even when I did Roger Corman's, what film did I do of his? Aladdin's Adventures of All Time. And so I scored that film, but I didn't get the opportunity to score it in anywhere near this particular way because of the budget and with the modules I had to use and stuff. It couldn't be as fun and bouncy and whimsical and all that sort of stuff. And I just know, just by virtue of having some experience with this kind of composition, it's got to take forever to do this, unless they're like those guys of, like that famous scene where Mozart's in the bed and Salieri, and he's really sick, and he's calling out the lines to Salieri. Okay, the bassoons are going boom, boom. I mean, if those guys were whipping them out like that, that kind of, artistry and that way to do it, I could see it, but still, it's just an incredible amount of work. So, Amon, did you do some work with Corman? Yes, I did. I did the original music for Aladdin's Adventures of All Time for Roger Corman. So yes, I went to the school. If anybody, Amon and I could probably have a conversation about this. If you ever did any work for Roger Corman, everybody and their mother came through a Roger Corman film at one point or another, don't you think? Oh, I thought you were, yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of really super famous actors or DPs or directors or, that got their start at Roger Corman's. He was the genius king of B movies. And so he must have got license, but I think it's on the internet. I've seen a couple of my things up there. But it's called Aladdin's Adventures of All Time. And I guess if you type in, well, see, now I'm curious for a second. God dang it, hang on. Spelt that wrong. Oh yeah, this is it right here. Look at this, Jesus. Yeah, this is some of my stuff here. Well, no, I don't know if, I can't tell if the music, let's see if this scene is. Let me see really quick.
I wish I were.
Yeah, that's one of my work.
Something's different.
Oh no, this is the source cue.
I feel as if I've undergone a change.
But I would have to write in and out of this and underneath it and come pull from scene from this to the next one.
I see a fetching from.
Wait, I'm curious. Let me see if I can find one of anything with my cue on it. Maybe this one. Let's see. See if I can find a. I'm sorry, just bear with me.
Is as good a place as any to start a fairy tale.
Yeah, that's my work.
Look over there. See how they play.
So you see how I had to write that piece to lead into this track? So there was that period there when I'm doing the blocking or the spotting with this music supervisor, and she goes, well, I need something that'll lead into that. So I'm writing that piece, and then the source music comes across. Let's see if we can find one more. Let's see, hang on.
So happy. Wonder that her name is I live.
Hang on.
It's these stupid glasses.
Your glass.
Nothing bothers them.
I wouldn't be too sure about that if I were you. People aren't always what they seem.
They're not?
Nope, and neither are you. Remember, you can't judge a book
Get
by
that
its
little oboe
cover.
out there.
Now, why don't you go outside and play with your friends?
The only friends I have are fairy tales. I just wish they could talk. And so I live.
So that would be one of those things where I had to write that intro piece that what was it, about 35, 40 seconds of just that, the oboe was doing its things with the strings, and I had to kind of start to set the scene for her to go into song. So I'd write that transition piece that takes us out there. So yeah, it's all, not everything I did was transition. I had some really fun parts. Let's see if this is one. Yeah, here's one of mine. Yeah, but at the time, you know, we'll move on. But at the time, the thing is that I had such a short amount of time to write this, and I think I was running everything off of a Kurzweiler and something else, and I had to use samples and stuff. So these weren't bold arrangements that I was doing there. But it was fun. It was a really good time, you know, and met Roger a couple times, and it was just really good fun and everything. And, you know, so this was just one of those little weird things in my little stack of creds, you know. But, hey, we did it, you know. The camel is licking, I don't know. Extremely economic.
Frenzy.
Oops, let me get out of here. What do you say we get ourselves back to the music here? I'm sorry, I digress. And what's really effed up is my dad got the credit on IMDb. You know, a couple years before my dad passed away, he's going, "What the hell? I never did Aladdin's anything." I go, "Dad, we have the same last name, and we're both George Del Barrios. You just spelled yours with a J." So, I know, right, Aman? Okay, who's up next? Hardcore is up next. My dad and I, we used to laugh about who'd get credits on IMDb because it'd be funny. He'd get the bigger credits, but I get the bigger checks at times. And so we'd have that battle because I don't like that. I don't like that. No me gusta. Okay, here we go. Hardcore, we are listening to a track called... Oh, this is a compilation. Enemy Within, New NYC Streets, Versa Visa, or Versa Life, Lebedev Airfield, DuClare Chateau. And this is from the game Deus 2000. Another compilation, game about politics, terrorism, conspiracy. It's set in a dark future. There is some dry humor as well. It's my favorite game. It's called Trump's White House. Okay, here we go. I'm sorry, I had to just throw that in there because it sounded a lot like what he was talking about. Okay, here we go. Nice use of a dulcimer patch with a delay on it. Well, I like that. That was a nice change. This is trippy. This reminds me a little bit of a Harry Faltermeyer. It's not Harry Faltermeyer. I forgot his name. Composition. Doesn't it? Kind of like from Fletch. Oh my God, I can't remember that guy's first name. Faltermeyer, the composer from the 80s. Harold Faltermeyer, I think, yeah? I guess I can look it up myself, right? Yeah, Harold Faltermeyer, yeah. I like this. This is kind of like creepy detective-y, kind of checking in, you know. The scene stands for itself here. I like it. Oh, brah.
Oh, Sandra.
Oh, Sandra. She just got
I just
snipped.
wanted to protect her.
You did your best. She just got mixed up with the wrong crowd.
Sandra was all I cared about in the whole world.
I wish there was something more I could say.
Oh my God, Daddy!
What a shame.
He can't really be. There must be something we can do.
He was a good man. What a rotten way to die.
No, no, no!
I wish there was something more I could say.
Mandrix, I was just thinking of that. It popped up here on the chat, and I was going, kind of has like a Max Payne vibe. I like this one. This is cool. I only heard about Max Payne when I guess I got it with a bundle when I bought the Xbox 360 back in the day. As you know, I'm not an avid game player, so it was just something like, oh, this is a trip. God, I love the fact that the composer sets a few things in order and just let it run.
No, I do not know you. Maybe you work for VersaLife.
VersaLife. Good. We're getting closer. You might as well tell me the rest. If I'm gonna kill you, you're already dead. I broke in myself. Looks like that code isn't gonna be as valuable as you thought.
Oh, great. I really hit bottom this time. That was my last chance to make any cash. I hope you're happy.
Maybe you should try getting a job.
I hope you're happy.
You did our dirty work for us.
I shoot you with my cannons.
A real hard ass.
On the contrary, he was somewhat too careful and urbane for that position. I'm going to have to step in myself and restore discipline.
Well, since that makes you my new boss, take a long look at Manderley's dead body. Consider that my resignation. I don't have time to write a letter.
I like the choice to put that pad mono. It lets a little bit more of the ethereal stuff really have its space. That was a nice little patch. I mean, obviously, too, the composer's staying with his palette of sounds through this whole thing. Nice and musical. It's kind of an end scene or something like that, or one that's a little more Towards the end of the game. I like this piece. This piece stands out on its own too. It's like just a piece of music. Kind of like, you know, man behind the wall, sneaking with the shadow, checking things out, kind of vibe. Yeah, Garnet feels like it has like some kind of a buy-in, like you're kind of getting to another place now. It's almost like the music got a little more well produced and well written to get you, like, you've graduated from simplicity in the music into more of a bolder part of the game, perhaps. Whoops, it re-looped. I love the track. I love the fact, like, I don't know if it's something that I said or if people are starting to do it, but I like these little compilation things, you know, as long as they don't get way too long. But I love it because now when I listen to a game and you give me these little snippets of, like, let's say, you know, a minute and a half here, 2 minutes of this stuff, I get like a little bit of a better understanding of what the composer and how the composer is moving through the game. You know, I mean, it's serendipitous to me saying it, so a few of you are taking the opportunity to do that, and I dig it. You know, because like I said, it's giving me just a little heady thing. Even if you do these little playing things, or even if it's still shots and stuff like that, I feel like I'm getting a little more just the gist, if you would, of what the game is about. So I liked how I mean, it was funny because when Garn had brought that up, you know, I was thinking, okay, this part of the track got a little wider, it got a little fuller. And so this is that kind of journey, right? If I would have heard just a couple of the tracks up front, I would have thought, okay, a little bit of a Harold Faltermeyer vibe and this like this. But then as it started to grow, I started getting a little more into, like, you know, it's just all senses starting to kick a little more. You know, I get a visual of who the character is and stuff like that. Even that other one that we did earlier with the giant boss bunny battle. You know, so hey guys, listen, I'm dipping out. Stand by, just before. I know that I always leave some people dangling. Has been waiting around for a while.